Yep. Hello and welcome to Live Thursday. This is the Battle of the Wagram, and I am here with Udino. Alright, so it is 7 a.m. It is just starting to get light. No enemy directly to your front, not that you can see too far anyway. What are your orders?
So I will have Thoreau move towards Floresdorf, which is along the river, there to kind of keep along the edge of the river, and then begin moving north to that wooded hill area.
In columns?
Yes. And then Grandjean is to move towards Geldersdorf, I believe is the correct name. It's
Yeah,
to the
I see it.
north of Floresdorf.
Yep.
And then I will have Ferrer move to the east of Grandjean, and then Marmont will follow behind, and the artillery will take positions around Grandjean.
So all the artillery is with Guangzhou, basically.
Yeah, in the center.
And where are you with all this?
I'll move with Grandjean.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, who else do I have? Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
It is my pleasure to be your umpire for the night, I think.
Excellent.
It is 7 a.m., still early in the morning with the sun just rising over the horizon, so not much to see as of yet. You know the French have been busy last night and their lines are somewhere not far to the south, maybe about a mile away. So no.
All right.
No
Should we have a map with units on it, or are we waiting for dawn?
Waiting for dawn. There was a map in the info channel.
Yep, I saw that. The big map. I saw one with the tactical.
Yeah, your screenshots will come next turn.
Got it. I'm just make sure I didn't screw something up.
Nope, you're good. You're good. Alright, so what are your orders?
I have no idea what my troops look like, so we're gonna stay in position till I see what's going on.
Okay, hold on, I'll ping your troops at least for yours. You've got Norman.
I know the org chart. I just don't know what they look like on the map.
Well, let me give you that to be nice.
So we're using the Arcanum 19th century map, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, this is south is up on this screenshot. I'm doing it so you can see the pieces. Who's this? Rosenberg.
Yep, got it.
So Nordman, your command is. Oh, you just got 3 divisions. So you got Versi, Frolic, and Reese. So the 3 in the center are yours.
Yep.
Along with some Lancers. And then I don't know who Colorat's reporting to between the two of you.
I've got him also.
Okay, so
I've got the advanced guard also.
Yep, so the 3 to the right and the 3 in the center. And
yep,
both Lancers are yours. And 3 batteries of artillery.
All right, and there's a cavalry unit at the bottom called Unit Name. Is that?
That is the feared flying Cossacks called Unit Name. I don't know. That got missed. I'm just going to name them Schneller and be part of the other Lancers.
Fair enough.
Alright. So now that you've seen that, any orders or just holding the line for the moment?
I'm just going to hold the line for the moment.
Okay. Rosenberg? Chinleaf?
He's been muted for a while.
I'll take that as no orders. Alright, moving on. Alright, any questions, Birdman? You there? Nope. Or Swens, do you have any questions?
Is there a way? I feel like every time I try to rotate this piece, it rotates way more than I want it to. How do
So, at the top of your screen, there's like a guy holding weights and then a degree thing there. And yours probably says
Aha.
30, and you gotta click it till it says 15.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's it.
All right. So Napoleon said he wanted to ride up and scout the line, but he didn't give a direction. So
Right up to where?
I just interpret. Huh?
What did he say? Sorry?
He said he wants to ride up and scout the line.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just throw him in with W then. I'm still making some movements. So let's talk about screenshots. Do you have a snipping tool on your computer, Birdman?
No, I don't. Hang on one second. I've got the default ones, but not.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Okay.
So when you do it, you want to have it so it's north up on the map. So north is always at the top of the screenshot, and then you want to do it. So, like if you're doing Napoleon, you'd probably go. Let's see, what would I do if I were him? I'd give him about a mile out, in a circle, so he's going to see some of the front of the Austrian lines, and then where he came from as well. I'll give you an example of what I do for Napoleon, and you can do it next time.
Yeah, I only know how to do squares. I don't know how to.
Oh, so some of them give you the option to do a special freeform snip.
Need some dice.
Oh, I'll give you those in a second.
Thank you.
So this is an example of what I do for Napoleon with the freeform snip objects. You don't have any saved dice in yours already, Art? We got some battles going on. There you go.
Thank you.
There's some markers for you.
Okay, I need a hit marker.
Oh,
I need hit
these?
markers as well, please. No? Yeah. So it's 1 and 1. Oh. It's nothing, those two. Okay. And artillery, they're in range, aren't they?
Which ones?
Are these guys here?
Yeah, they are.
They're going to be all in range.
Yep, definitely. I guess the Austrians are shooting too. Did Davu order artillery to fire?
I'm assuming that. Oh, sorry. Shut up.
Oh, I was gonna say that Devu. Devu ordered his artillery to be moved into that formation that he moved them in, but if we're there was no specific order about firing.
Okay,
I think probably because he doesn't actually where his
that's fine.
front was.
We'll leave it there then. So all your screenshots are squarish, which that can work. So let me give you an example of what a square.
I'm getting snag it real quick. That'll allow me.
Okay, good. So for Devu, I do a screenshot like this.
Oh, are you doing Devu?
Yeah, I'm doing that in a moment. Just give me an example of what kind of how far out.
Is
Oh no,
quick.
no worries. I was just taking Devu. That's why.
James, quick question. Is Legrain and Grenier with Messena, or is that with Eugene? That is Eugene in it. I know that off the top. I should know that.
Oh, that's impressive.
Okay. So how we're doing? Big street shots about
A mile-ish out.
so about 10 grids roughly.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Let's see. Gotta go do.
So, did you do the Austrian? You didn't do the Austrian
I
artillery
didn't.
find
I
it.
didn't roll for any artillery. I
Right,
just put
give
the
me.
smoke on them.
Okay. Quick question to them, and I'm done.
And don't forget, artillery gets a pip just for shooting because you get worn out. So basically, after 2 hours of firing, it'll be done. Unless
Counter battery. So artillery firing on artillery reminded me. Is there any negatives for that? Is counter battery for this period?
so, well, artillery in general is a -1 penalty,
Okay.
and then if it's more than
Yeah.
half a mile, it's another -1. But there's no penalty for just being against counter battery. Who's MTD? Alright.
Screenshots.
Birdman, Swentz, you good on your screenshots?
I'm working on them right now.
Okay. If they write dispatches to each other, they'll put them in their channel, and then whatever player you have, it's up to you to deliver their dispatch. And there's not going to be a delay. Just when they write it in one turn, you'll deliver it the next turn to whoever they're sending it to.
Okay.
Cinema. So 7:30, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, 7:30 now.
Top Napoleon.
Can I
into
send you the
base
screenshot to have you review it before I? Now is that okay?
Yeah, just put it in umpire, or I'll see it when you post it. It's fine. So Napoleon should be going to. Oh, he's
What's
to.
That's fine.
You just did that. Okay. We're good.
Oh, you posted one for Napoleon already?
I had, yeah.
Okay.
We're good. I was just showing you what, kind of giving a guide of what they should look like.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna go get my peeps. Alright, General Udino. It's a 7:30. It's much brighter now. The front of the column of Grandjean has reached Tedlersdorf? Or is that a J? I don't know. The town you're going for, you're there. Thoreau is continuing on the road to your west, you can see. And your corps is strung out along small dirt farm roads for the most part. Here outside in the outskirts of Vienna. And you can hear artillery fire far to the east, miles and miles away. Probably the far right end of your line, as you know it.
No sight of any enemy at this point.
Nope, no sightings, nothing.
Okay. General Thoreau's division is to continue up the road that they're moving and remain parallel to the river, making for Strebersdorf, which is just south of those large hills. There to send scouts ahead and investigate if any enemy occupy those heights. If so, they should halt at Strebersdorf. Grandjean is to move up the road from Gellersdorf, aiming for the road that red line. They're just that red line road. They're supposed to follow that, and the artillery. One artillery battery will go between those two formations. The other two artillery are to form northeast of Geldersdorf, pointing towards Jerasdorf, which is northeast of it. It's that town north of that. And Ferrer's division is to move on Jerasdorf. Marmont's car should move to Geldersdorf, where Grandjean is currently.
Marmont is going to. Okay, got it. Glad you're keeping all these towns straight.
It makes it easier for me too.
Yeah. All right, where are you going?
I'll stay with Grandjean.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you. Oh, James, before you leave, should I ping you for dispatch?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Alas, we have no dispatching
you. I'm sorry. If I could send it myself, I would.
power. That's all right. All right, gentlemen. As the sun rises over the horizon, French troops come into view with quite an array of artillery to your southeast, just across the main road. You can hear artillery fire coming from the southeast at the far left end of your line. No artillery fire in your sector yet, and no sightings of French to the west or southwest. Just what you see southeast of you.
All right. Prince, your royalty, you go first.
That's one scary grand battery, I'll tell you that. We should switch the 3 artillery batteries with Bellegarde and your batteries to our left force so that we can counter their grand battery.
Okay. Move them over there.
And I'm going to move. Good.
I was going to say, those are yours. Those are Nordman's artillery, so do you concur?
I concur. Get them over there so that I can get them in line. We'll have them kind of screen the guys in the front, in the center group.
And the 2 batteries that are there, they to start firing?
Can I order Colorad's core or something? Is it possible?
I believe
It's my core.
That's Nordman's. I'm asking about your artillery at the moment. Do you want them firing or not?
Okay.
Okay.
Nord, just shift your only battery to my battery so we can counter the French to the best extent we can.
We're going to move the 3 batteries on the west side. We'll move them in front of the 2 divisions there so we can counter the batteries. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
So we'll do. And then I'm going to move Schindler's cavalry. They're going to move to the west of St. Julian. Just to occupy that space over there. Keep an eye on things.
Oh. Got it. And any other orders?
And when the guns are in range, let's open fire.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Are Darvu's artillery firing now?
Yes.
It's easier if you got them facing the right way to start with.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All right. What about this? I assume they're going to start firing. Let me get my dice. Grand battery time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus. What's the range? 2. Did he say what he wanted the artillery to target? Was it the other batteries or the?
He just said open fire, and said something about whatever is the opportunity.
Alright. We'll do it that way. And those two firing back. Okay. That's easy. Got 28. RP still doing. Oh, he's not even here. Never mind. Chief, are you MTD? He must be MTD. Maybe not.
Right. So we have a mass cavalry battle going on.
Ooh, already.
Yep. I'm just going to sort out what's
So
going to
don't
happen.
forget, they get disrupted one just for having charged.
Yep.
And then they eat the rest. You get the fun stuff on your side.
I'm going to be setting up.
Why are these guys back here? Are we just ignoring them?
Oh no, I just basically took them out because they're not players and
Yeah.
they're commanding. I thought there's no point in them getting in the way.
Okay.
Any
James.
bonus from the commander itself? Right, so I need to do dice here. So
So if the commander is putting himself in danger, he gets +1 attack for the unit he's
Okay.
with, but then you roll to see if he dies.
yeah,
And it's a 6
Yeah.
dies, 5 injured,
he's injured.
and then it's going to be taken to the rear. I give him a red broken for injury.
So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need.
Someone asking a question?
I have a question, but I know the answer to it. So
Oh, okay. You know what? I forgot to roll for that one. Do you want me to roll for the artillery in the middle, Arp?
If you could, it'd be grand. Thank you. So, ooch. Okay, so they do 2 on that. Nothing on those 2. Ooh, ouch. Automatic -1. Ooh. Crone. And Cuirassiers against Hussars get a +1, don't they, if I recall?
Cuirassiers are +2.
+2, okay.
Yeah.
Just it's +2 dice, isn't it? That's what they go. Is it plus on the 2 on the dice roll? Sorry, I
+2 to
forget.
each dice roll.
Right, okay, so they're definitely gonna get that then.
So on if you got guys on the west side, you can take your screenshots now. That's done.
They've got that.
be right back.
So these 2. Yeah. Ooh, didn't go well. Yeah, okay, how are you? I need some firing things.
So what do you need? Oh.
So I'm just gonna put some firing stuff in. So what's if they're injured, are they just injured for a certain number of turns and out of the...
So I'd say, So this current screenshot would show them be pretty small and show them in the middle of the battle, and then the next one
Okay.
would take them to the rear and have a pretty small screenshot. And I do that for, I don't know, 2 to 3 turns is
Okay, gotcha.
always better. You can get back to the front.
Screenshots.
Oh, send me and pig. Sorry.
There's Charles.
I'm gonna go do my folks if everyone's good here.
All the artillery is done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Oops. Whoops. Okay. Alright, Jenna Udino. The sound of artillery fire to the east continues to grow. You are riding at the head with Jean. And as you're going up the road, you can see Austrian lancers riding towards you. You can also see the Austrian line facing south, and behind you, your corps is moving about as you've ordered. You're muted.
Sorry. Does Thoreau report anything on that hill?
He reports that his scouts have found nothing on the hill.
Okay, he's to move and occupy it, and ensure that there's nothing moving on the road south from Thorumberg, which is that larger town further north along the river. It's the bigger one.
Okay.
But I would like him to occupy the hills. I will send the artillery that is with Grandjean currently to reinforce the row as well. Grandjean should form up and prepare to potentially receive enemy lancers.
Form
And-
square.
They should be able to form into line, and if that enemy decides to charge, they should be able to form into square as they come. We'll see them coming.
They're about 6/10 of a mile away at the moment.
Oh, so they could probably be on me within a turn, huh?
Although, yeah, they definitely, it's a half-hour turn. They can definitely attack in a turn. But you guys will see him coming, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So they'll form square.
Yeah. But he's to hold pretty much the position he's in.
Okay.
If the artillery that is south of him can begin firing on that enemy cavalry, that would be ideal.
They're too far at the moment, but they could move up.
Okay, then I'd rather them just move up, and Marmont should move to protect the artillery, and Ferrer should move to attempt to contest the Austrians' occupation of Jarosdorf. Okay?
Say that last part again. Freyr's moving to Yarostor.
Yes, he should contest. It looks like the Austrians are also moving for Jarosdorf, or at least planning to hold it, but he should occupy Jarosdorf before the Austrians do, or at least fight them over it. I will move back to a safe distance so I don't get run over by lancers, but I intend to kind of stay in the position that I currently am. Maybe I'll get on the hill a little, get a little bit better elevation.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, James.
All right, gentlemen.
Who seem to be more Frenchmen?
You have found the French. Your Schneller's lancers on you as they move to your right wing towards the west. Report French infantry moving up the road directly towards them, a little less than a mile away. As you receive the report, you can see it with your own spyglass. Down to your southeast, the French Grand Battery has begun peppering your line, the leftmost part of your line, and the sounds of battle further east have grown in intensity. They cannot see that far. What are your orders?
All right. When we go from west to east, the battery closest. The I can't read the name, so I'm sorry.
That's fine.
The battery, the westernmost battery that I moved over
Mm-hmm.
is going back, and it'll go in front of St. Julian to bring the approaching French under fire. I want my Lancers to fake a charge. I want them to advance halfway to the French, hopefully trying to lure them into going into square. And then I want them to withdraw due north so that they're on the other side of that red road.
Okay.
And then the brigade or division in the back that starts with I think V,
Mm-hmm.
it'll move up and take the space occupied by the Lancers now.
Got it.
And the St. Julian brigade in the center will pivot towards the advancing French, and we will hold position.
Got it. Rosenberg, your orders?
For my orders, the remaining 4 batteries will continue firing, and that's basically it. Just hold the position with the infantry.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Davu's artillery are supposed to be prioritizing infantry now.
Got it. Well, they rolled quite poorly. Oof. Austrians are better. Oh. I didn't ask the Austrians.
Only pinged umpire, but he's not responding, so I don't know what to do about it. He's not typing text chat.
Wait, where did he ping the umpires?
So that's quickly. So then, no, it's okay.
Do you want me to do artillery again?
So again, sorry.
You want me to do artillery again?
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great. Thank you.
Not a problem. You got all the cavalry stuff going on. Alright, we're 8:30 now. West side stuff's done if you want to do screenshots.
When do I send out the dispatches that they put in at 800?
So if they put in at 800, it gets delivered with this turn on 8:30.
Okay.
All artillery's done, yeah?
Yep.
I'm ready for screenshots again.
Go ahead.
Have we got a dispatch umpire, sorry, at the moment for this?
No. We're good.
Okay, we'll just send the dispatches then. Super. It's 0830. Go do the updates. Alright, do you already know? So, you ascend to the small hill to your west, which affords you a pretty decent view of the battlefield from your side. Grandjean deploys into line, and as they're doing so, the enemy lancers start to gallop forward towards you. They quickly scramble into square, and then about 300 or 400 yards away, the lancers pull off and head north. Your artillery's brought up and deploying now. Clausel under Maumont is arriving, forming up on the right of Grandjean. Frere has been able to take Gerasdorf without issue, and is from far, far away. You can see he's starting to occupy the buildings there. And Thoreau's men are a bit slow moving in the hills, but they're taking position in the hills as ordered with the artillery going their way. What are your orders and your needed?
Yeah, sorry, I've got some background. I don't want to ruin your video.
I just remind people because sometimes they start talking and then.
Yeah, certainly happens. The artillery is to open fire on Colorat's line immediately in front of me.
Okay.
The plan is for our artillery to fire on the enemy for a turn. One moment, I have to consider my action a little bit.
I can come back if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I just want to decide this a little.
Hello, gentlemen.
We would like you to remove a few French divisions.
Oh, well, that's up to you. That's not up to me. So the grand artillery duel continues. Your artillery seems to be getting the better side of it, from what you can tell. Though it is hard to tell in all the smoke. But your artillerymen are proving themselves quite skilled. I do want to ask if they should be targeting the guns or the infantry line. But besides the artillery duel on your right, no, your left, east, the French continue to deploy and move up in front of you on your right. So they've occupied Gerasdorf directly in front of Colorats, and you can see a line forming to the west. The Lancers do move and force them into square, and then pull off in time. So they're kind of in a mix of square going back to line formation now.
They have guns that they've brought up and are deploying, as you can see.
All right. I'd like the Lancers to move north a little bit and then turn around just to threaten the French.
Okay.
Actually, have them move west a little bit and then turn around to threaten the French. The artillery to open up the one battery that we just moved to open up on Friere's massed group there. And I want to move the Reese division, which is hiding under the Rosenberg and Nordman command counters. I'd like to move it to be behind the artillery battery that's off there by itself with Third Corps.
Okay, you got it. Rosenberg? Oh, it's gone. I am going
Can't hear you.
to make your screenshots smaller, so if you stay where you're at, you're not going to see all the way to where your Lancers are, because I've been a little bit over generous. So I don't know if you want to move yourself to the west or...
I'm going to move myself to the west so that I can keep my Lancers in view. So I may lose sight of some of Rosenberg's status, but that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So you'll be separated.
For my orders, just keep firing with the grand battery that I made. Hopefully we get lucky.
Are they to target the guns or the infantry?
Sorry?
Counter battery or target the infantry?
You know, just keep firing at the battery.
Okay, got it.
Nordman, did you send the dispatch to Charles? Or Hope?
Yeah.
So it's just one screenshot I gotta take. Is Eugene co-located with Napoleon and Bernadotte?
What did Napoleon and Bernadotte want to do exactly?
They wanted to move to the center, to scout the center.
Yeah, I'd have them co-located then.
Tables have turned. So let them know. Let you guys
I keep
know.
forgetting. Oh, bugger. Sorry, I keep forgetting to add the +1 for the cavalry attacking, don't you? If they get
Yeah.
tired, you add one extra. Damn
Yeah,
it!
they can't be running all over the place all the time. They're gonna get tired quick.
Alright.
And for the artillery, let them know. So they get a disruption token every turn that they're firing. Basically, they're gonna have ammo and means to shoot for about 2 hours, and then they're done. Well, I guess 2.5 hours. So that's why, even if they're not actually getting hit by anyone, they're going up each turn. So let you guys know that basically they got 2.5 hours of artillery usefulness, and then it's gone. So they can either cycle their artillery and keep artillery reserves, or they just use what they got for 2.5 hours, then it's done. I'll do the artillery in the middle.
Yeah.
We got a big charge going on.
Yep. The cavalry specifically going at that at the center artillery.
So first we're gonna do canister shot. And we're doing
What do we do for them going into square? We just mark it with something.
Yeah, these units don't do it, so just assume they are square, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think there's going to be any situation where they are. Alright, and they did that, and then... Let's see... That's 2.
If they're broken, are they broken for the game?
No, we got enough units. We can recover them for later.
Okay.
So run to the rear, and then we don't have wagons anywhere, but run to the rear.
Super duper.
That's one, so that's
So those are wow, 2 6s by the French. So they're routed or broken. They are completely routed. Bit of back off.
crap. Okay, I'm about to rewind something. Sorry.
Oh.
Just hold a second. I accidentally deleted a unit. And I don't remember the name of it. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if they do route, throw that damage marker on them. Let's see.
Infantry don't get the +1 for combat, do they? Just the cavalry. Is that right?
For what kind of combat?
In terms of tiredness, exhaustion levels, it's just the cavalry that get the extra
Yeah,
exhaustion.
yeah, infantry don't.
James Ujino messaged me.
Uh-huh.
He said he hasn't issued orders yet.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
You want me to take him?
I got him. I just forgot to go back to him because. See, that's the risk of saying I'll come back because then I forget. All right.
I tried to get your attention. I promise.
There you go. All right. Orders.
The artillery is to begin attacking the enemy line, Saint Julian, preferably the middle. Ferrer is to form up and prepare to attack after a 30-minute artillery bombardment.
Okay.
Grandjean is to shift to the right of our artillery batteries, and Marmont is to replace Grandjean in his position. The artillery that I was sending on the hill should go and move up to where my artillery is, just concentrate it. And Thoreau is to advance north of the hill towards Hagenbrow. They're essentially going to go on a wide looping flank and hopefully prevent the enemy cavalry from pushing into our flank. But they should be prepared to receive a charge should one occur.
Got it. All right,
Thank you.
James, did you do this artillery that's in here by any chance?
Yes, I did do them.
Grand. So they didn't hit much then, by the looks of it.
I did a little bit. But, yeah.
Okay. So they're kind of going to be out of artillery in about what, a turn? Another one more turn, they're probably going to be out.
Well, 2 turns for them, I guess.
2 turns. Okay, gotcha. I'll let them know.
Did I roll for them?
Right. So screenshots.
Right.
Moving Eugene since he's going to look.
All right, Chinleaf, you there? Hello, hello. All right, if you have orders, you can type them in if you can hear me. All right, General Nordman.
All right.
So you move to the right wing of your line.
Yep.
You can see the French continue to advance and deploy to your front. Your Lancers report seeing French movement in the hills to their west or southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah, a column marching northward out of the hills in that direction.
All right.
Your infantry is starting to be taken under fire by the French artillery.
All right. Let's do this. Let's move the Vecchi's division behind Froelich, so that I just have a single front there. Keep one behind so I can cycle them out a little easier. I'd like to take that one of the batteries that has 2 fatigue closest. I'd like to move that to the west and eventually bring the free air division under some type of flanking fire.
Okay.
Have Reese position kind of in the center of the line. It'll adjust. Have the cavalry angle. Keep an eye on what they're observing there, but also keep the French flank turned. They're doing what I want. I don't think they're advancing their attack yet. And let's shoot anything we can shoot.
Got it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. There you at, Chinleaf. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, General Oudinot.
I have my orders.
Oh, now you're ahead of the game.
Yes.
Your artillery's firing on the Austrian line with decent effect. Their battery is firing on Fair in the town. You can see the Lancers are to your north, and yeah, I guess that's it. The other artillery, the third battery, is moving to join your other guns. Not quite there yet.
Understood. The row is to cut east and attempt to sweep the hussars or the lancers away. Clausel is to, or Mamont's division Clausel is to advance to the corner of that woods and create a blocking force should the enemy cavalry attempt to charge south at us. Marmont's other division is to attack the edge of Colorat's line. The artillery is to support Grandjean, who is going to make an assault into the weakened Saint Julien division, and Ferrer is to advance and attack the enemy's artillery and the enemy division directly in front of them. This is a wide general attack by pretty much all my forces.
Yep. All right, now it's getting excited.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it.
You having fun?
Yeah, this looks like it might be a pretty powerful attack. I'm annoyed by this cavalry, but we'll see if I can't catch them in either Clausel or Theraman or whatever my other division, the row.
Let's see. All right.
I wish I had some cavalry of my own, but I don't. So
That'd
I'll
be
make
nice,
do.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, James.
Hello.
A quick question. So since Eugene wanted Gudin
Uh-huh.
charge, but they're not under his command. They're under Davu's command. Davu ordered them not to do anything.
Yeah, so they're not going to do anything.
Okay.
Tell him to go command his own men.
Okay.
The guns here in the center are not firing now.
Yeah. He ordered everyone to cease firing, and he wanted to ask if they will resupply.
Yeah, they'll resupply.
Okay.
It looks like the French barely won the cab battle in the east. You guys getting the dispatches all right?
Yeah.
So it's now 9:30. I'm done in the west if you want to do screenshots there. I know Arp hasn't shown up yet. I guess he's still doing combat over there. I should come in here to do combat.
Grand.
And I would like to know if it would be possible for the light cavalry to be reformed. If not, that's fine. Just
They'll
if that's-
have gone.
Are they keeping Bernadotte way back in the rear, still in reserve?
Napoleon just put the dispatch to put him in.
Oh, okay.
So it'll go out next turn.
We got a big attack on the left and not too much in the center. Oh, I need to do that combat shoot. Alright, so we got cavalry. Oh, he's at McDonald. Let's see, his hussars. Artillery's done. Oh, no, that artillery gets a shot.
Okay.
So we got. That's gonna be broken.
Dice. I need some dice. Yeah, so what you're doing, James, he wanted to charge in to retake the guns.
Yep.
With those units.
That's enough. It has failed.
It's not looking good.
I've done combat up to here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm doing the ones on the rest of that, so that's fine.
So
Good
the
to go,
Austrian
actually.
line is beleaguered, but they held at the Wagram and sent McDonald packing.
And commanders for rallying, they potentially give an extra one, don't they?
Yeah, if they're
Right
spending
there.
time rallying, they reduce an extra one that turn. But they get a small screenshot.
Yeah.
Because they're in that thick of thin things.
Are the cavalry next to Bernadotte under his command?
I assume so. I think it's the guard cavalry. So sure. Alright, west side need new screenshots. Let's see, we're at 9:30. No, we go to Delbu.
What time are we on to again now? Sorry, we're on to
9:30.
9:30. Okay. Is it 9:30? I thought it was later than that.
Nope. Unless you somehow
yeah.
got a half a turn
So
ahead of us.
That's alright, I'm just jumping forward in time. Copy.
Oh. I did that. Doing my updates. Alright, General Oudinot, your attacks are going in as ordered. Gunsmoke all along the line. Generally, it seems to be going well. The Lancers did not stick around to fight against Thoreau's assault column, but are pulling back. Yep.
Okay. Thoreau is to continue east. Clausel should advance and attack Vitusk in the flank. The artillery should continuing to support Grandjean's attack. What is the status of Ferrer all the way at the end there?
Pretty good condition from what you can tell. Just
Okay.
hard to see from so far away.
I'll move over to that position, to Gerasdorf. But Grandjean is to continue his attack and hopefully break through the enemy, and Clausel should commit himself to breaking the extreme flank while Thoreau continues marching straight east, hopefully still blocking that enemy cavalry. The artillery supports Grandjean, and Ferrer continues his attack.
Okay, got it.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Chinley, can you hear me?
Hello.
There he is. All right. So, the French guns have ceased firing. Your own guns have continued bombarding them, taking out many guns. But you are getting low on ammo, and your artillerymen are starting to get exhausted. Some of the gun crews have had to stop entirely to get water and food and take a break. You can see on your west French attack going up against Nordman and Colorado. And you can hear lots of fighting to the east, but not see much. What are your orders?
Okay. So, let's see. Are these? Okay. Uh, Order Froelich and Vexay's men to fill the gap that the French are currently exploiting, with them flanking the artillery battery in the very center, just right of our position. The artillery will stop firing, and the infantry is to get ready for a general French advance, basically.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, General Nordman.
Well, that changed quite a bit.
It did.
Uh,
The French have launched a general assault on your part of the line. There's a furious exchange of gunfire all along the front. Saint Julien, his right flank, he reports to you, is at risk. The Lancers are also being threatened by an assault column. They're not attacked. They're bravely running away to the east, awaiting orders.
they're redeploying. I think
Redeploying. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. But generally, your line is at more risk than you think the French are. They're looking like
Yes,
they're able to cover it.
I see. I have more orange.
Your colors are worse than their colors.
All right, so it's time for desperation. Let's do this. All right, the Lancer that is furthest west, the one closest, I want it to turn 90 degrees south and charge Claperdell.
Okay.
The next Lancer, I want to turn around and do another false charge at the French column to see if we can slow them down but not make contact.
Yeah.
And withdraw if they're not. I want Reese to replace St. Julian in the line. And have St. Julian fall back, directly back. So if Vivek breaks, I've got somebody there. And then I want Felix and Versois, the two divisions with one. I want them both moving to the west to form a backup line to the west of Figurine. I can't really pronounce the name of that little village there.
Got it.
But I want them to move essentially where the easternmost Lancer is now and form a line.
Okay.
And we should remind the Prince that Hussar unit is his, because if he doesn't move it again, I'm going to steal it.
I'll remind him.
Thank you. All right, that's it. That's all I could do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll start with that.
Gardner dot asked what the spider web lines are, the small ones. Do you know what those are?
Spiderweb lines? They're just little roads. On the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just little roads.
All right, done that. Superb.
Alright,
Molitor. I'll do these two.
I've gotten this far.
Fine. So you've done? Have you done? That's artillery, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I did the artillery.
So those are broken.
Is Eugene focusing on recovering this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stop him here. $10. I think for such a big battle, this is actually the right number of pieces for it to be manageable.
Yeah, with divisions the size, it definitely works, doesn't it?
Austerlitz was killer.
Yeah.
Gives me nightmares.
Okay, it's okay there. He's gonna get back down to 2.
Alright, I'm done on the west side if you guys need to.
Yeah, I'm done over here as well. Just need to what am I doing? I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Is Prince Franz? Is that Charles? Who's Prince Franz? Oh, that must be Rosenberg,
dunno.
I think.
It's 10 o'clock now, isn't it?
10 o'clock. Oh, Chinleaf. I forgot. Norman wanted me to remind you that the Hussars to your northwest are yours to command. Did you want to do anything with them? You there, Chinleaf? Never mind.
Okay. So, I guess they charged me, broke my lines. Flank is jeopardy. Where are my reserves?
Oh, hold on.
What did
I did the wrong
Vexity
screenshot.
and Frolich do?
Hold on. Yeah, you have a different screenshot. I'll be back in a second. Alright, General Udino. So, the Austrian lancers charged into the flank of Clapard with devastating effect, basically routing him almost instantly. Clausel's men were able to advance and are firing on the French cavalry flank, but could not save Clapard in time. Thoreau continues east, but he's harassed by the Austrian lancers and keeps having to form square, then unform square. It's slowing him down. Good news is Vukoskovic has been routed, and Saint-Julien, some of his divisions, been routed as well. But there's Austrian reserves have been deployed to the line. Grandjean, some of his division is getting tired, running low on ammo. But as you move over into Geresdorf, you can see Davout's cavalry operating on your right flank, and you watch as they gloriously charge into some artillery that was starting to fire onto the flank of Frere, and you kind of lost them from sight, but it looks like they're attacking the flank of the Austrian line, which is very hopeful for you.
All right, excellent. Thoreau is to continue east and possibly southeast if he feels he can attack the enemy in the rear or assist in enveloping them. Clausel should move to protect our artillery from the enemy lancers. Grandjean should deploy his reserve in attacking Reese, and all of our artillery should attack that fresh Austrian unit. Ferrer should continue his attack. It looks like he will have an opening soon to break into that enemy artillery and hopefully into the new Austrian reserves flank. It looks like we're about to break their line here, so we will continue our attack in as efficient a way as possible and hopefully protect our artillery from those roving lancers.
You got it. Thank you. Alright, now I'm back. Let me give you an update and then I'll take your orders. Are you there?
Okay, so
Let me give an update.
I
So
assume
your guns stopped
I
firing.
assume Nordman called back his two reserve
He did.
divisions.
He called them to the west, so they did not obey your orders.
Yeah,
French
yeah.
guns are firing now, and the rest you can see. What are your orders?
Who is that? 1 second. Who's that? Who's the hussar behind me?
Those are yours under Ferdinand.
Okay, Ferdinand's hussars, or dragoons, whatever they may be, is to charge Grouchy's cavalry on their flanks.
Okay.
The two Rodetsky divisions are to counter Putod and Morant. The artillery is to fire point blank at Putod's division. The rest of the artillery are to open fire again and try and dislodge the French as much as they can.
Okay, got it.
And that's all my orders.
Alright, General Nordman. A bit of a mixed bag this turn. So, your lancers half the lancers charge down into the French flank and do manage to rout one whole division. But unfortunately, by that point, Vukoskovic has taken too much fire, including artillery fire, in his men, despite orders not to break and run. Saint-Julien, equally, as soon as they get the order to turn, it's like a floodgate let loose. They lose all cohesion and orders. They flee to the rear. Luckily, Reese is there to resume their position in the line. Scheller's done a good job forcing Thoreau and the French to your northwest to continue to slow and deploy and then resume march. So the progress is slow. The main line to your south with Ries there is improved, but Saint Julien's at risk, especially as some French cavalry have gotten onto his flank.
I noticed that.
Pesky French cavalry. Vesey and Froelich are moving into your rear as reserves.
All right, let's continue to have the Lancers kind of fake charge those two French divisions to slow them down as best we can. Can I control Vukakas and St. Julian and have them withdraw to the northeast? Or they're just running on their own?
They're running on their own. It's a big, massive mob of men.
Got it. All right, well, we'll let them run away. Vekes, I want him to take a 90-degree flank on Reese. And I want Froelich to turn and to support St. Julian and hit Grouchy. And if no one commands that Hussar group, I want them to hit Grouchy in the flank.
You can see them moving forward and doing exactly that, actually. So.
Excellent. And then my artillery unit that's off by itself, I have it shoot at, since it didn't shoot it, apparently didn't shoot at the infantry advancing on them. I think that's all we can do.
Yep. Good luck.
Oh, and then the one Lancer unit with 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have them wheel and hit Thoreau in the flank there. Might as well.
Okay.
I'm sure they will be joining Buskovitz and St. Julian in our surrender canton.
It's likely.
All right. Thank you, bud.
James,
Yes.
the Austrian guns here that were routed, are they kind of out of action for the rest of the game? Or are they going to recover
yeah,
slowly?
they're out. They're overrun and spiked and killed and whatnot.
God, okay. I'll take them out then. Well, I guess they can stay there, can't they? Fabulous. Okay, so cavalry combat again. I might do one. Yeah, that's going to be enough to. Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way of doing it.
Pieces are funky.
What? I've forgotten. Is it an extra dice for grape shotting?
Lately I've just been doing a +1.
Okay.
So no penalty and then +1 for the roll.
Right. Any messages? Nope. Is it 10:30 now?
Yep. Alright. I got as far as I normally do.
Right, I'm done on this side. So I'm gonna do screenshots for 10:30s. Whoop. Do that again, that's a terrible screenshot.
And don't forget, if one unit routes, the ones next to it go up in a disruption.
Yeah, that works actually.
Is that nice for a chain routing?
I did forget that, to be fair. Too late now. I'll factor that in for next turn.
You doing good, Swenson Birdman?
Yeah, I got a traffic jam going on that I'm trying to work my way through.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, my guy, I think based on the prior orders at least, these guys will move out of your way.
Also, while I think about it, there's some where are they? Fresnel, which is just here.
Mm-hmm.
They've been sent over from, remind me, from Hohenzollern to help support this side. So I guess either Rosenberg or Nordman can pick those up as units under their command.
Okay. Did it say which of the two?
Didn't say. He just said. He said send it to Norman initially at Nordman. However, I guess he said he was passing Rosenberg. Rosenberg might pick them up.
Okay.
So I guess it's up to.
Guess we'll see who gives orders.
What you want to do? Yeah.
All right, General Udino.
I require a screenshot.
What? That's ridiculous.
Sorry.
Can't you play without a screenshot?
I mean, I can guess.
You just go off verbal description only.
All right, if you want to, we'll see how it goes.
I'm joking. I just forgot.
No, that's no problem. I assume I'm winning okay.
Here it comes. So, half of Grandjean's division broke and is fleeing to the rear. The rest of the line's holding steady. To the east, you can see the cavalry were countercharged. Grouchy has been broken, but Moltbrunn countercharged and broke the Austrian hussars. You do break another Austrian division, Saint-Julien, but they're replaced by reserves. You see more reserves deploying to lengthen the line in front of where your artillery is firing. Thoreau and Clausel report. Thoreau was continually being harassed by the Lancers and was attacked from the south by a Lancer brigade or division, I guess brigade. They did manage to break them with the support of Clausel, so one half of the Lancers are removed from the picture, at least in the near term. And I think that's it.
Okay, Clausel should advance and attack Veske. It's always fun trying to read these Austrian names upside down. The artillery should focus on one piece of artillery should support Clausel's attack, and the rest of the artillery should continue supporting Grandjean. I think that Ferrer is ordered to launch his most damaged division or portion of his division in a charge, and the other into the artillery, because they're going to break either way, so they might as well take the artillery with them. And Ferrer should continue attacking that enemy infantry that arrived as reinforcements. And I'm sorry, Ferrer, not Thorer. Thorer, the guy up north. I don't have a good idea of where the enemy cavalry is that he's facing that has been harassing him, but it seems like it's a good time for him to cut straight south. He is to have one division aggressively attack the rear of Colorat, and the other division is to remain as a blocker for the remaining Lancer.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Prince Rosenberg. So Radetzky moves his division up to counter the French assault column, and they're firing as they come in. A portion of his line is now engaged in melee combat, and then pouring fire into his flank, so that's going well. Rohan and Hohenlohe remain with you. There's also some reserves from the east sent by Hohenlinden, I think. Hohenzollern. Fresnel's division is there in reserve for you and Nordman to use. And that's it. Are you there? I hope you heard all that.
Okay, so let me just screenshot this and give you a general idea of what I want.
Sure.
Basically, one of Fresnel's divisions are gonna go to intercept Montbrun's cavalry, and the other division is going to set up on our right flank, so basically to the northwest. Radetzky's divisions are to continue launching the attack on Davout's men and just drive them on their flanks as hard as they can. Hohenlohe, the other division, they will just stand by for further orders. Ferdinand is to re-rally at my banner.
Got it. Thank you.
That's all my orders.
Alright. General Nordman.
It may soon be former General
Former General Nordman. So, as predicted, the Lancer attack does cause some casualties amongst the French, but they are soon after routed themselves and starting to flee to the east. Veske deploys on your right flank, or is arriving to deploy.
Mm-hmm.
He and Reese are both under heavy artillery fire, and then the main line to the south continues to exchange fire back and forth.
Seems like we broke one French division, but it was just replaced by a fresh one.
Indeed. The Hussars under Ferdinand charged the French cuirassiers in the flank and broke them. But then the French cavalry under Montbrun countercharged and then broke Ferdinand. So they're fleeing, along with Saint Julien is broken and replaced by Frolic.
Yep. All right. Well, there's not much we can do other than I want Vesseray to pivot to face that French column that is to his northwest. As we make our final stand, I want the cavalry,
Wait,
the lancers.
who is that you wanted to do that?
I'm sorry. So Visceray,
Vesky? Okay.
Vesky, excuse me. Have him pivot so he's facing Thoreau's division.
Got it.
My guess is they're coming there. Those lancers, I want them to hit Montbon.
Okay.
And that's all I have to command. Everybody else is kind of engaged, or in the process of running away.
Yep.
And the artillery keep firing both batteries I have that are still functional.
Got it.
All right, I think we may be done soon. I don't know what's going on the other flank.
Hopefully they're doing better. You've had a tough challenge.
That's still fun. Thank you, bud.
I'm just gonna roll. In fact, I don't. Oh, that's okay. They're crushed. They're all gone. Let's roll for Charles again. Ooh, Charles doesn't get killed this time.
This might be the beginning of the end.
James,
Mm-hmm.
Bernadotte is trying to rally the broken guns. How do I do that?
Where's he at? Bingham?
They're not broken. They're just out of ammo.
Yeah, they're just
Okay.
exhausted and out of ammo, so there's really not much you can do.
Got it.
They will, if they're not firing, they'll just recover.
I think this whole wing over here is about to collapse for the Austrians, I'm afraid.
Oh, their right wing's about to collapse too.
Yeah, they're going on both sides. So that's okay.
Will these two fire?
Yeah, I'll get to them. I'm
Okay.
working my way that way.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't really see any part of the Austrian line that isn't about to collapse, except maybe right smack in the middle there.
Yeah, it's not going well for the Austrians. Are we ready to call it then? Are we kind of close to?
Let me finish this combat and then take a look.
Okay. Are these guns? Are they? Can they fire again? The ones that are just here because they've kind of recovered. Does that mean they've gone and re-ammoed?
Yeah, if they
Otherwise, I could
have
fire
orders
this
or want to
turn.
on their own.
Yeah, I just told him. He said told to fire if they Yeah, this French. Sorry, yeah, the French right, Austrian left is just crushed. They're going to roll it up in the next 2 turns. Completely.
Let's let's do the 11 o'clock update. We'll get the orders, do that combat, and then we'll call it. Then
Okay.
so 11 now.
Are we ready for screenshots, or?
Yeah. The battle's really over, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, there's a reason the Austrians lost it historically.
Yeah. So it's 1100, isn't it?
Tough to fight against history.
This seems much more crushing than the historic one, though.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen what's been going on over on your wing, on the Austrian right.
They held for a while, but they just really just got overwhelmed now enough.
Yeah, same kind of over here. The cavalry, the French cavalry. If the Austrian had won the cavalry battle, they might have had a bit of chance, but
Yeah,
they got crushed twice.
that was a close thing though, wasn't it?
Initially it was, yeah, but once they broke, yeah, it was just over then because of whatever they couldn't recover enough to offset their losses, if you want to call it that way. The French they didn't break enough. Yeah.
Don't tell the
Next
players
turn.
that
Yeah.
though. But
I won't. I won't.
alright, Jim, what would you know?
James, can I have a quick question? Sorry, do Grenadiers do they have extra morale in the game?
No, they just get +2 attack for melee.
Grand, thank you.
They're actually good at aiming.
But only if they're French. If they're Austrian, they have -2.
There you go. Alright, so Frier sends his left flank forward. They do manage to capture the guns and spike them, but then they're countercharged and flee. That's enough to break them. But Grandjean's, what remains of his division, moves up and breaks Reese. Clausel's and Thoreau report they outnumber the Austrians 3-1 and are slowly moving on their flank. To your east, you can see a major attack going in by Davout and looks like even Napoleon and the Old Guard and the Young Guard. And that seems to be going well.
Wonderful. Grandjean is to attack the flank of the enemy force that Ferrer's remaining portion of his division is fighting. They should form up into assault columns and assault the enemy's flank. Our artillery is to focus their entire fire on Vesky. And I think I can send a dispatch to Thoreau, although at this point he's essentially out of my control, I would imagine. That it appears that the enemy lancers that had been harassing him have come south. Cloperd looks like he has reformed, so he should move up to be a reserve for Clausel. Otherwise, it's, continue our attacks as I've just stated. We're going to try and envelop and destroy Collerat and then support Davout's main attack.
Got it.
Thank
you. Right, Tinleaf. Not going great. So it looks like the main French thrust is coming right at you. You can see Davout's corps as well as members of the Old Guard themselves with their big black hats. Your front line has been overrun and is fleeing. You got your second line is intact and fresh, but they're about to get overwhelmed. Your guns are out of ammo and your artillerymen are fleeing. Frenzel's deploying to your west to try and stem the tide. You can see lots of Norman's men are also breaking and fleeing north. What are your orders? Launch an immediate charge. Alright, got it. Alright. Let's see. Things been a bit hairy. Your flank keeps getting turned and you've got French practically in your rear. Vesky and his division for their part are doing admirably well, fighting twice their number and getting enfilade fire from artillery. They're still standing and holding at the moment. Reese his men have finally had enough and are fleeing towards the rear. Frolich's barely holding on. I guess some amount of good news, your lancers countercharged the French cavalry and have sent them packing. So your cavalry is the only that retains the field, at least in this sector. But that's little consolation compared to all the infantry currently in massed or disorganized mobs to your north, with officers trying to get them back and organized.
Let's do this. Let's Vassavik and the St. Julian.
Hold on, your mic is super muffled. Is something changed?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Usually when you hold your finger over the mic, it muffles it. The Vassavik and St. Julian up in the north just form a line on Fresno.
Okay.
Pivot back, let everybody else pass through them. Visray and Froelich fall behind Fresno, just get the hell out of there along with my command groups. And my Lancers, let's do one crazy thing. Let's hit Morand in the flank and see if we can kill Davout.
Okay.
There's 1,000 ducats to the Lancer who comes back with the head of Dubuque on a pike. I think that's all we can do.
That's all you can do.
Everyone else running away.
All right.
James, let me know when you get to my area of combat.
Which one's your area?
Jeez, no, I'm gonna say that they break. They come in. Yeah, they're broken as well.
Napoleon is wanting the infantry in front of him to charge these three.
Okay. There you go, charger. Roll some more.
Olens is supposed to charge right.
Alright, whose sector was I supposed to announce? Are you doing over here, Art? Or how far?
I've got to. I've got to kind of there. So I've done all of it that side.
Let's do this real fast.
Whole, yeah. The Austrians are all broken over here, basically.
Okay, that's a good stopping point. Let's see. Alright. Let's bring everyone to the lobby.
Let's just do a bit of cleanup.
Lobby, lobby, lobby. Welcome everyone. Hope you had fun today. It was enjoyable for the umpire team, I think. We had Berlin for his first time. It was good. Compared to the Austerlitz game, I enjoyed it because there's a lot less pieces.
Yeah.
Agreed. It was a relaxing game, it felt like a little bit. My normal thing, I'm going to ask the CICs real quick how they think they did versus their self-set and assigned goals. So starting with Archduke Charles, how do you think you're doing?
terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. However, I think we'll be able to pull off a little shimmy evacuation.
We'll see.
Not really.
Okay. Napoleon?
Napoleon doesn't have a mic.
Oh, okay.
Mike is busted.
You can put it in after party then. Alright. So let me share my screen, go over what happened. Alright. So. Oh, nice white marker. So everyone knows the deployment. So the French were essentially, and I might be slightly off, but deployed something like that. The Austrians are deployed something like that. Can't really see it. I had the left wing, so Art will have to talk about what happened in the right wing. But basically, Oudinot made a pretty wide flanking march. He went as far as here and then came up and then around with his corps, him and Marmont. So he faced Nordman, basically, and did pretty well with positioning and controlling his different divisions, as I would expect from Jen, and basically overwhelmed the Austrians with well-timed attacks. On the Austrian side, Nordman was defending against Oudinot and Davout, and had the difficult task of holding the line with not enough numbers, but he made really good use of his lancers, I'd say, in slowing the French advance and then attacking in the flanks where he could. So that was well done. And then everything else, there's only so much you can do. So tough position. And then I had Rosenberg as well, who was kind of more in the center left. He did a glorious charge here at the end, is the Kriegsspiel way. But as you can see over here, so they got one fresh division here. Frenzel's arrived, and so he'll be the rear guard enough to make it so it's not an utter rout, but it's close to it. Austrians, now I don't see a lot of French cavalry on the left. Of course, we got these untouched lancers and cuirassiers here in the rear, so maybe they'll be chasing down the Austrians as they flee and bagging a lot of them as prisoners. But with Frenzer there, I think at least a good portion of the Austrians will be able to retreat, although it's definitely a defeat on this side. We had the French Grand Battery under Davout, which did pretty good work, although the Austrians countered that with their own. And I think that's about it. I did also do combat across the Wagram. I know Eugene sent MacDonald attacking up the center and it got repulsed. So I think Austrians pretty well were able to hold the center, the Wagram itself, but both their flanks collapsed, as that's where the French concentrated. We had the old guard and the young guard were charging right up the center here, right at Rosenberg at the very end. And that's the battle from my side, so I'll pause and turn it over to Art to give his experience.
So on the Austrian left, French right, I had Massena, Charles, and Hohenzollern. And as you know, the Austrians were kind of along that area, and the French were kind of down here. Both had big cavalry arms in the rear, and basically they mirrored each other's moves. Both did keep, in the beginning part, the Austrians had some infantry was going to do a swinging door motion down here, and the French were doing exactly the same, so they did meet in that area. And Charles wanted a mass cavalry charge to come around here into the flank, which he did, and that was matched by Bessier coming up this way. So there were two immediately, right from the beginning, there was combat going on. The key to this flank really was in the early game, the cavalry charge. It was even Steven for the first couple of turns, and then the French just overwhelmed the Austrian cavalry and broke it to the rear, and not a lot of its own was, so they had a chance to recover. While that was going on, there was Massena was pushing up with his infantry, and doing very well, really, kind of just methodically moving forward and grinding the Austrian line down, which was holding pretty well for most of the battle. And then there was a second charge. What the key bit that happened here as well is that Charles got injured. He was kind of struck in the head, so was out of the game for 2 turns, and looked like there was rumours that he'd been killed, but though he hadn't been, he came back into the fight. And then there was a second charge, tried to bring a second cavalry charge over here, which again was countered by Bessier as the French line came in, and again it was broken for a second time, hence it's routing over here. And at that point, really, the French pressure started to break. All of the Austrian infantry just started to slowly break here, and they started to push through. Some of the routed units recovered, but it's basically over on this flank. The cuirassiers are coming in here, and I just don't see it holding. So it was good decisions by both sides. Hohenzollern actually managed his resources really well in this area after Charles was injured, and managed to send Fresenel over to help support Nordmann on the opposite flank. Unfortunately, it was probably units that he needed himself, as it turned out, but he didn't know that. And Massena did very well as well. So that's all from this side.
Thank you, Harp. Let's hear from the other 2 umpires. We'll start with Swentz, this is his second game umpiring, at least with me, and then we'll do Birdman. So Swentz.
Yeah, I first had a lot of fun umpiring, and second, I think my 2 main takeaways. I think Davout attacked at the exact right moment, and I think that Prince Eugen never really had the resources necessary to actually mount the kind of attack that he wanted to mount. I mean, lost a lot of men to spike a couple guns. And yeah, the Austrians, I thought, did a good job of using what reserves they had, but unfortunately just did not have the sheer weight of numbers that the French could bring to bear. That's all.
The weight of history against them.
Just to add in on the end of that, because actually that's a good point about Eugene's attack. Though Eugene's attack is right, didn't have the numbers. What it did do was it held a lot of Austrian reserves in the centre, because there was attack into the guns, which Hohenzollern couldn't shift onto his left flank. So it actually did have quite a positive effect there.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Birdman.
Yeah, so it was my first game umping. I had the reserves with Napoleon and Bernadette. They did a good job scouting in the beginning. They went to all the flanks to see kind of the big picture. In my opinion, they were maybe a turn too late on the reinforcements, because the battle had already been decided, but not that they would be able to know that. But they got the infantry up the center, and they just started combat on the last 2 turns.
Alright, thank you. Alright, now we'll let the players each share their piece and experience and insights and learnings. So working top to bottom, we'll start with Archduke Charles.
Yeah, no, we did what we could with what we had. I am proud of my team, especially since I had got knocked out literally early on. And then I got back up and I was sending out dispatches and everything. My cavalry kept folding on me, but they had to deal with heavy cavalry. And I was like, if they just hold out one more turn, and then I'm like, they're completely eviscerated. I'm like, damn. So, yeah, I ordered the withdrawal and saved part of the army at least.
Alright. Bernadette, Ninth Corps.
Well, I guess it was I mean, this week in the court, so.
This must be that ChatGPT player that Marshall was playing.
You can actually,
Your connection's really bad. We can't understand anything you're saying, unfortunately. I'm just gonna have to skip you. All right, Eugene of Italy.
Right. Yeah. For me, I only really jotted down one thing in regards to lessons learned, which is sometimes operational needs have bad tactical consequences, and I think the Army of Italy felt that today. I had the feeling that number one, I can talk back to the very beginning. So in the very beginning, I had as an idea that I would follow up on Massena's left, and I would essentially follow his movements and make sure that his line was contiguous with the rest of the army. On the about 30 minutes in, we obviously see this quite impressive Austrian battery. And I have an assumption that this is an attack coming in, and I'm also assuming that because of the number of guns in my front, the attack is going to come in on my side. That was the wrong assumption, incidentally, but I assumed because of the weight of guns, that was what was going to happen. I did, however, begin to order a warning order at about that time that I wanted to do an attack against the guns. And the reason why I thought that would be necessary was that essentially, if we were going to have a contiguous attack, I would need to at least attack on my right. And if it was going to attack on my right in order to keep contiguous with Massena, I would also have to find some way of going into the guns in order to have them not fire into my flank. And as a result, I ended up sending in what is generally not something you want in war, which is a frontal attack against guns that are fortified a hilltop position.
Mm-hmm.
The result was that the Army of Italy has taken extraordinarily heavy casualties, from my understanding, and is incredibly weakened. But the entire scheme of my maneuver was essentially to drive as many of the enemy reserves onto me as humanly possible for as long as possible. Which is very, very sad for the poor conscripts in the Army of Italy. But still, I think it was an interesting experience because for the game, for most of my experience of it was hurling my men towards enemy guns in the hope that they would be shot very slowly.
Interesting. All right, Udino.
I had a lot of fun in this game. I had the assignment similarly to Eugene of tying down the enemy's flank and forcing them to send reserves to my area so that Davout could make his attack in the center. When I initially began moving forward, we were expecting them to be on that wooded hill. That is kind of where Clopaird's division is currently. But I was happy to find that there was nobody on there. And so I found Collerat's 3rd Corps north of Jerinsdorf. So I was able to organize Udino's 2nd Corps and Marmont's 11th Corps into kind of a pretty successful attack. We were able to kind of pin part of Collerat's line and constantly shoot it in the flank with cannons, and then just drive several divisions into this northern position that you can see here. And I think we were able to successfully put pressure on Collerat from 2 or 3 angles for most of the turns that we were attacking them, which was great. The interesting thing, though, and I completely agree with James, is that the Lancers were used extremely effectively to kind of slow my attack and mitigate it. I had no cavalry, so I had to find a way to make this attack work when I knew there was enemy Lancers bipping about. So I kind of decided that it may be not a very fancy attack, but I just went with very few reserves and attacked in as wide as front as possible, and decided that the northern forces would kind of block out the enemy cavalry or bait them into a disadvantageous attack, or I would just simply take losses. But I knew that I had enough attacks coming in at enough successful angles that eventually I would overwhelm Colorado.
Alright, thank you. Hohenzollern.
Yeah, so I kind of had the left wing of the Austrian army for the most part, and I kind of more had to manage the center. I was never over with the cavalry, except for rallying them when Charles was down. And I guess my only commentary on the battle was when that charge happened on the guns. That was scary for me because I had troops in place to take them back. They were literally just sitting right behind the guns. It was Ulm and my grenadiers, and they were able to retake the guns. But unfortunately, it seems you were able to spike 2 of the batteries, which really hurt me later in the battle because I needed those guns, to be perfectly honest, in order to hold that position. And yeah, that was a very good move, even if it cost you dearly. But
There's almost more
well played.
consequence. Thank you. Same to you.
Messena, where'd you end up?
Far right.
Far right.
Far
There it
right.
is. Okay.
Yeah, so I had Massena's corps consisting of 5 divisions, and then I also was 5 divisions.
You just lose them? Or did you lose me?
No, we didn't lose you, James.
Okay. Alright. I guess we'll jump to Davu and see if he comes back.
Sure, so I've got 3.5 divisions, so 7 blocks here in the middle, and I have 3 batteries of my own, and I Grand Theft Auto the Old Guard's artillery. So I thought I was going to have a Grand Battery in the center and just go to town on some poor under-equipped Austrians, but they actually showed up with 6 batteries to my 5. So the plan from the get-go did not involve me launching in any attacks, which was probably for the best, because they had a local advantage in guns. But eventually, as attacks on my right started going in, I noticed guns had to go deal with that, so it didn't last the whole day. I spent the first 2 hours just trying to run the Austrian guns out of ammo with my own guns. The plan from the get-go was to launch reversionary attacks on our flanks, which I see wildly exceeded expectations. And then hopefully the Austrians would commit to one or the other rather than their center. And then my corps would go in and tie down what was in the center, while Bernadotte's corps and the guard came in and mopped up. I think it worked. I had a really fun time, but I didn't have to make any complicated decisions. I fired my guns, I stopped firing my guns, and then I went forward to take bullets for the old guard. And that was that. Thank you very much for running this game. I had a blast. And it was really great to see Birdman umpiring. Thank you, Swentz, for umpiring me.
Alright, Nordman.
Well, first, I had a wonderful time, James, and thanks to you and all the umpires for running the game. And I think, we gave as good as we got, but I think I remained too far forward. I was put into a kind of an L-shaped defensive position, which helped the French accentuate their number advantage. And so I was just taking more fire than dishing out. Had I fallen back to where Fresnel is now, I could have shortened the lines and bought a little bit more time for this flank to hold up. So I think I was a little too stubborn in my forward defense, and that was my fault. But Lancers are a lot of fun, so I like Lancers. I always want to have Lancers in future Napoleonic games, because I think they broke 4 French formations.
I think you're right. They worked well. Rosenberg. Prince Rosenberg.
Alright, so for the majority of the game I was in the basically Austrian center, and I wasn't able to do much because if I moved even an inch forwards, the French Grand Battery would just blast me to death. So I was waiting for the French to advance, and they eventually did advance. And my units got absolutely obliterated in their first charges. But I launched as many counter charges as I could to deal as much damage as I could, and this is the result at the moment. So yeah, I think I won.
Alright, I think you're the last players to the hill. So thanks everyone for playing. It was an enjoyable game. I think everyone enjoyed it. So we'll see you next week. We got the Battle of, I think it's Pea Ridge, if I remember right.
Good game.
Should be fun.
All right.
See
Thank you, guys. Great game, guys. Congrats, French.
Who had the French cavalry?
We'll get the French next time. Don't worry.
Hard part to figure out.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Bye, Miles.
Good night.
Good night.